When you come in here, the rules of the game are different. What you can't do is talk over me. Now that's what you can't do. I think this is about your relationship. I just thought it was sex. Because it only gets worse for you. Act like you already know what you already know. This ain't new information to you. It's new information to me. This is why I got up this morning.
Today on Judge Dad.
What company is this? This whole company is out of control. We got the accountants dressing up like minions together, calling each other daddy. We got HR people illegally showing people other people's HR files when they shouldn't see it.
It's a zoo.
Court is in session. Dr. Sean McMillan presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Plaintiff Matthew Richards is suing defendant Jenny Stein for $5,000 for lost wages, slander, and emotional distress. Mr. Richards, tell me what I need to know to make a decision about this case.
Well, it's very simple, Your Honor. I worked with Jenny Stein. We were accountants. We worked together, and we started to develop a business relationship with each other. Because of her personal feelings towards me that expanded beyond a professional relationship, she started to get very jealous of me because I was spending time with other people, and she became very jealous, and she reported that I was stealing from the company, and this led to me being fired, and it also slandered my name, and it also caused emotional distress for me, and that's why I'm here suing for $5,000.
Let me see if I got this right. You're saying that because you rebuffed her advances and out of a fit of unrequited love, she went to your mutual employer and reported that you were stealing, and you were subsequently let go because of what she said to your boss.
That is exactly what I'm saying, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Don't thank me yet. Let's begin with, I guess, the most obvious of questions. What evidence do you have, because you're assigning motive to her, not just consequences, but you've determined the motive. So what evidence do you have that her motive for going to your boss was that she wanted you?
Well, Your Honor, I have texts that we can show the court, and these clearly demonstrate that she was very interested in me, outside of a professional relationship. She was looking for possibly something romantic or sexual. That's for you to decide. But she was pursuing that, and I think when I sort of said no thanks to that, the jealousy and all of that started. And I have the text to show you that. She's asking me, she wants to get lunch. She's asking, let's chat more. She's asking me, saying drinks tonight. If you look at the text, she's saying, let's get, it's hard for me to focus with you anywhere near me. Drinks tonight. And I mean, to me, that's beyond a business relationship.
Well, okay, I'll grant you that something appears to be afoot. Here's a question. And Miss Stein, I'm going to give you a chance. Don't worry, you'll get a chance to respond in kind. I appreciate your comportment and your patience. But Mr. Richards, treat me like I was your uncle or your dad. It's your dad asking. I'm like a dad. Why weren't you interested?
Well, I was never I never pursued a personal relationship with her. I could tell that she was very clingy and very judgy even before all of these things. So if you're looking for, maybe that's the answer you're looking for. I mean, this is just from my professional feelings to her. I could tell she was clingy and the jealous type.
No, listen, let me explain, Ms. Stern, before I come to you. Let me explain to you why the answer to that question is important. Because in order for your assigning motive to be credible, I need to understand what deductions, what logic did you use to sort of dissuade or to reject what you say was her motive. That's fair within the circle of logic that you're trying to get me to buy. It's fair for me to want to know what justifications you used not to succumb to what you say her motive was. So that's why I'm asking the question, and because, you know, I'm kind of interested in the answer. You two are young people, and you know, it's not common that young people rebuff each other. So I was trying to figure that out. Thank you for that, Mr. Richards. Miss Stein, Jenny Stein, he's laid out a case. You've heard what he said. What say ye?
Well, first, thank you, Your Honor, for asking him that question, because I had no idea why I stopped hearing from him, but I'll just take it to the beginning. So I started working for the company in July of 2018. We began going out to lunch together, having drinks. We even dressed up in matching Halloween costumes. That was Matthew's idea. So we formed a friendship relationship. And those same texts that he used to show that I was coming on to him, I think they could also be used to show that he was coming on to me as well.
Ms. Stein, hold on one second. I'm going to let you finish, but I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. So the two of you dressed up in matching or mutual Halloween costumes, is that right?
That's right, and that was Matthew's idea. We dressed up as the Minions.
Dressed up as the Minions, and that brings me back to why I asked my question, which was so sarcastically dismissed, because that does not sound like a professional relationship at all.
I love Halloween, Your Honor.
Yeah,
I love Halloween. Sue me.
Apparently you do. Mr. Richards, let me give you some really good advice. Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. Address your comments to me, Ms. Stein, address your comments to me. If you all want to have a nice private conversation, you should not have sued each other. So now that you're here, you're stuck with talking to me.
You are the foul. Get off my stage.
What I love about what I get to do is that there are two sides to every story. There are two sides to every story. So the story I just got was all professional. That's all I'm interested in. Let's just tally and count the numbers, and now we're dressing up as Minions together. Ms. Stein, keep going.
Yes. So yes, we developed a friendship relationship. There would be some instances where I would say, hey, let's go out to that burger place. And he would say, no, let's go to the steak place. So I was keeping it professional and friendly, but he was kind of coming on more. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, he's attractive. So I was returning that same energy. I thought it was mutual. We were having fun together, getting to know each other. It was in December, all of a sudden, there's a new woman who started working at the same company, and Matthew completely forgets about me. We don't go out for drinks anymore. There's no lunches. He completely ignores my texts and phone calls. And so I'm just wondering what happened. You can see the text evidence. You know, I'm asking what's going on, and it's still really ignoring me. And so that next month in January, I ended up letting the HR company know that I saw Matthew stealing money from the petty cash drawer, and he was subsequently fired. And so I don't see how that has anything to do with me, why I would be held accountable for him being fired.
Ms. Stein, hold on one second. Mr. Richards, I'm coming to you. Don't worry, you'll have more than enough time to respond. But I do just want to highlight one thing in these text messages, because again, when I asked the question, I was treated with sardonic, sarcasm. Here it says this: it's hard to focus on you in that dress today. I'm assuming that, Matthew, you're the one talking here. And later on you say, hell yes, daddy. Yes, daddy needs a beverage. Daddy. Now, I've worked with a lot of people, and I've not called them mommy or daddy. Yes, this doesn't sound very professional, sir. You told me all you wanted was a professional relationship. I asked you why you rebuffed. You made fun of my question, and now it turns out you weren't quite rebuffing as much as you made me believe you were. No. Before you talk, explain daddy. Unless you're explaining daddy, don't say anything. Unless this is a daddy explanation, I don't want to hear it. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm so glad you brought this up. So I love to play pickup basketball. And like when I win, it's like, who's your daddy? What's up? And everyone at the office knows like, daddy. So, you know, if I win.
Mr. Richards, salon s'il vous plaît. Salon s'il vous plaît. Stop it. And I'm not being rude. I'm just keeping you from tanking your own case right now. Because you cannot expect anybody with any sense to believe that a woman is calling you daddy because of what people call you on a basketball. That's ridiculous. Clearly, no. Clearly, we can all agree that this was more than just a professional relationship on some level. Miss Stein, let me ask you an important question, though. You reported him to his boss for stealing?
Yes.
And what evidence did you have, what justification did you have or do you have for him being a thief, for you going to his boss and telling his boss that he was a thief?
Well, I actually saw Matthew taking the money from the petty cash drawer on multiple occasions. And honestly, when we started to go out, he was taking the money to pay for some of our dates. Now, me being new at the company, I did ask him, you know, is this something that you do often? Is it okay? And he assured me that this is something that he had done and that he always pays the money back. And because I was new and we were building a relationship, a friendship, I trusted that. And so it was after the fact when he was ignoring my text and phone calls, I ended up going to my friend in HR to ask, you know, is everything okay with this guy? What's going on? And they told me, no, they didn't really have any information really regarding that, but they did ask me if I knew anything about someone taking money from the petty cash drawer. And it was at that time that I let them know that it was Matthew, and I had seen him do it multiple times, but he told me that it was okay because he had done it before and that he always pays it back.
Mr. Richards, how do you respond to that, sir?
She got a lot of that right, and then some of that I think she needs to maybe have her CAT scan.
I don't need you to editorialize, sir. I just need you to answer the question.
So of course I took the petty cash. That's why it's there. You have it there to, you know, you're taking out a client for lunch, or you need to pay for gas. You're going on a trip. You need to audit someone. You pay for gas, or you need pens, office supplies. That is why the petty cash is there. And it's interesting that she saw me do it. You know, we had a good professional relationship. And then all of a sudden, when Matthew's not texting her the way that she wants me to text her, now all of a sudden she decides, oh, I'm going to report that thing from 2 months ago. So, Your Honor, I think you start to see the trend here from Jenny.
Well, I didn't know it was wrong until HR brought it up. You told me that.
Address your comments to me, Ms. Stein. Address your comments to me. If you all wanted to have a nice private conversation, you should not have sued each other. So now that you're here, you're stuck with talking to me. I'm not an accountant, obviously. I'm in a different line of work, but I'm almost certain in a professional firm where accountants are working, it's not take $1, leave a penny. It's not take $5 and leave a quarter. Sir, don't say anything. Don't say anything because you're sneaking all the way over to my bad side.
I am ordering you to heal. That's called a mama with a soft heart.
Son. I'm gonna talk to you as a dad for a second. Mr. Richard, I would almost be inclined to follow your logic were it not for the fact that the HR person approached Ms. Stein about the missing money. You're absolutely right that petty cash happens to be there to buy incidental things. But in every corporation, professional situation that I've been a part of, there's a process for using it and getting it. There's a way to record it and to account for what you've taken. So in as much, you're giving me half-truths in a roundabout kind of way. You're absolutely right. That's what petty cash is for. What we're trying to discover is whether or not you went about trying to get it the right way. Apparently, that's not the case.
I mean, Judge, we have an honor system. You take some, like take a penny, leave a penny. You take some, and then, by the end of the month, it's all balanced out. You take some, and then you make sure you put it back, and that's what I was doing. But of course, until her jealous side came out,
Mr. Richards, you both are accountants, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. I'm not an accountant, obviously. I'm in a different line of work, but I'm almost certain in a professional firm where accountants are working, it's not take $1, leave a penny. It's not take $5 and leave a quarter. Sir, don't say anything. Don't say anything because you're sneaking all the way over to my bad side. All the way over to my bad side. Not because you're a bad person, but because you think I'm stupid. And I need you to stop doing that. Don't say anything. Just regroup right now. Let the silence help you regroup. Ms. Stein, let me ask you a question. Is there any documentation, any evidence that you have about his stealing or his duplicitous ways professionally?
I was able to obtain a copy of his employee review that shows that he was
I object.
A favorable employee.
Can we object? I object.
Ms. Stein, hold on one second. I actually want to hear what he has to say to this because there may be something valid here. Go ahead, Mr. Richards.
I want to strike this from the evidence record. This was obtained illegally. This is not permissible in the jurisdiction.
I got it, Mr. Richards. You're clearly an accountant. Mr. Richards, you're clearly an accountant and not a lawyer. We're not going to strike it from the record. But you do have a point. Don't say anything because you're doing well. You're about to mess it up. I think you're absolutely right that Ms. Stein, it's a very fair and problematic point. How did you get this?
When I went to ask my friends in HR about, if they had any information on Matthew, why was he ghosting me? They didn't have any direct information, but they did allow me to take a look at his employee review form, and that's how I saw it.
What company is this? This whole company is out of control. We got the accountants dressing up like minions together, calling each other daddy. We got HR people illegally showing people other people's HR files when they shouldn't see it.
It's a zoo.
I can't let me finish, Ms. Stein. You were doing well. Now you're starting to act like him. Mr. Richards, got some good news for you and some bad news for you. Which one you want first?
I'll take just the good news, Your Honor.
Yeah, regrettably, it doesn't work like that.
You are the foul. Get off my stage.
I can't admit that into my adjudication process because you shouldn't have that. You shouldn't know that. So I really can't admit that into evidence because it was illegally or at least inappropriately received or obtained. But Mr. Richards, you have a whole nother problem. The problem now you're interrupting me, which is going to compound the problem. Because I've heard enough. I really have heard enough. I got two grown people, who obviously have some sort of a romantic entanglement with each other that didn't go well. I've been lied to today and told that it was rebuffed. Clearly it wasn't. Text messages show that. And then I got a young lady who may have been jaded because of the lack of attention or the fact that you went off to other fields, that now she feels whatever she feels. I got all that. And I can't use the evidence that you brought that shows that he's a thief because you got it in a way that's improper. Okay, you people really are trying to drive me to drinking today. I'm telling you. This whole
But, Your Honor,
I'm thinking out loud.
can
I'm
I
not.
say something?
No, not really, because you're going to mess up your case. Mr. Richards, got some good news for you and some bad news for you. Which one you want first?
I'll take just the good news, Your Honor.
Yeah, regrettably, it doesn't work like that. So here's the good news. The good news is you're going to live another day. The good news is you're not always going to be the age you are right now, nor in the stage you are right now. The good news is you're going to grow and mature and become the better version of yourself, and you're going to do it, and you're going to look back on this time and laugh at the fool you used to be. Here's the bad news. In spite of the fact that I can't use the evidence that she brought, I can use common sense. And that's what we do in this courtroom. It's not just about the evidence, it's about common sense. Here's what I mean by that. If you went to somebody and told somebody some things about me that they knew were not the case and they had no reason to believe them, they would not believe them and they would not base their decision about me based upon what you said. Nothing you could say to them would convince them that I was that way, unless some part of them, or more poignantly, some part of me, was equal to the critique or the opinion being brought to them. Here's what I mean by that. Your boss didn't fire you because of what she said. People don't fire people on hearsay. There was probably already something the managers and the executives in your company were thinking and feeling about you. And whatever they heard about you only confirmed and compounded what they already thought. You are today not going to prevail in this matter. You're not going to get a single dime from the defendant today. Not because the defendant is without fault. She has a report she shouldn't have. But because, Mr. Richards, you need to guard your professional reputation. And you guard your professional reputation by being a better man. And that's what you haven't figured out yet. Be a better man, sir. If you don't want to be with somebody, don't be with them. If you're going to only be professional, only be professional. Don't tell me you're professional at the beginning of the case, and then I'd read text messages calling you daddy in the middle. Doesn't work like that. I've experienced you today as a liar. And if you're a liar, then you're probably also a thief. So that's my judgment. The judgment is for the defendant, not the plaintiff. No money will be transferred here.
I'm still working at the same accounting firm, and even though I was reprimanded for looking at Matthew's confidential files, everything else is going really well.
I was disappointed with the judge's ruling, but it is what it is at this point. I'm just happy to put it all behind me.
I'm dating again, and it's nice to be involved with someone who's not a liar or a thief. So overall, I'm pleased with the judgment and just happy to be moving on with my life.